What did Asim Munir say in Tampa, Florida? He reportedly threatened to break an Indian dam on the Indus, an escalatory claim that runs headlong into international humanitarian law, which treats dams as works and installations containing dangerous forces, restricting attacks because of the catastrophic risks to civilians downstream. Here's the reality. Modern concrete gravity and RCC dams are among the hardest structures on Earth to breach with conventional missiles. Their immense mass, steel reinforcement, and deep anchoring in rock demand not just a strike, but many repeated, highly precise hits on the same structural point, an operational feat far beyond a few missiles fired in anger. India already constructs major dams with high safety margins, and additional blast hardening is theoretically possible. But it's costly, scenario-dependent, and not a standard or publicly certifiable design goal. The smarter path is layered resilience, robust structures, diversified spillways, rapid repair capacity, and rigorous contingency planning. And what about striking a dam inside India? Any such mission would face a layered air and missile defense ecosystem. India's indigenous ballistic missile defense architecture, long-range systems like the S-400, and networked surface-to-air and fighter coverage. No air defense is 100%, especially against low-flying or saturating threats. But the combination of defended airspace, terrain challenges, and multiple engagement windows makes a successful, single-wave attack on a major dam highly uncertain. Bottom line, threatening to break a dam isn't just reckless. It brushes against the laws of war. Many people are surprised that a field marshal in Pakistan could make such a foolish comment. But we should consider that the Pakistani army has been funding terrorists who target civilians in Kashmir. Recent Pahalgam attack, where 26 Hindu tourists were killed after asking their faith, Muslim were spared, Hindu were killed. An institution involved in such actions might make any kind of statement. India, as the world's largest democracy, would never target dams in Pakistan, even if Asim Munir were to strike Indian dams. With that principle in mind, let's review the dams located in Pakistan. 5 defining dams: Tarbela, Mangla, Diamerbasha, Warsak, and Marani, and each carrying a sobering question. What happens to people and the economy if one of these giants were to break? Begin at Tarbela, where the Indus pours from the Himalayan foothills into Pakistan's plains, and an earthen rock embankment stretches about 2.7 km across the valley, rising roughly 143 m above its foundation, the largest earth-filled dam on Earth. Tarbela's reservoir once stored about 11.6 MAF, with live storage near 9.7 MAF. Sediment has reduced live storage substantially over decades, though upgrades and future upstream storage aim to extend its useful life. In the powerhouse caverns, 17 generators deliver 4,888 MW today, with expansions underway targeting more than 6,400 MW after the 5th extension. Vital, flexible electricity for a growing economy. In flood season, 2 immense spillways, together capable of passing over 42,000 m3s, shed dangerous surges, protecting downstream cities and farmland while preserving water for dry months. If Tarbela were to fail at a high reservoir level during extreme inflow, the resulting outburst flood on the Indus would be basin-scale and catastrophic, with a fast-moving wall of water surging into densely populated floodplains, threatening bridges, barrages, transmission corridors, industries, and millions of people along the corridor. Warning times would be measured in hours to low tens of hours depending on distance, demanding pre-planned, mass evacuation to mitigate loss of life. The economic shock would radiate nationwide. Immediate damage to irrigation works would cripple cropping cycles across Punjab and Sindh, power deficits would cascade through the grid, and transport links would be severed. Interruptions that, even if temporary, could inflict multi-billion-dollar impacts through lost harvests, industrial downtime, and reconstruction costs. Shift east to Mangla on the Jhelum, a sweeping embankment and concrete system more than 3 km long and roughly 147-148 m high, anchoring irrigation in Punjab and supplying about 1,150 MW of low-cost hydropower. Mangla's height raising project in the 2000s recaptured critical storage to buffer droughts and moderate floods, strengthening water security and grid stability. Downstream, Rassel Barrage and river towns depend on Mangla's regulated releases to match crop calendars and protect against monsoon extremes. The scientific community has modeled hypothetical Mangla Dam breach scenarios using modern 2D HECRS, producing breach hydrographs, arrival times, and inundation maps from the dam toward Jhelum City and Rassel Barrage across approximately 64 km, precisely to inform evacuation planning and land use decisions. If Mangla broke, a rapidly rising, high-velocity flood wave would rush through the confined Jhelum Valley, striking urban areas like Jhelum City and rolling toward Rassel. The modeled results emphasize short to moderate warning windows, life safety risks in low-lying corridors, and extensive damage to homes, markets, roads, bridges, and barrages without swift evacuation. The economic blow would include immediate agricultural losses in the Jhelum-Chenab system, grid instability from lost hydropower, and major reconstruction needs for transport and irrigation headworks. Regional but severe impacts echoing the model-based studies that guide siren thresholds and route design today. Now look upstream to a project still rising from the mountains, Diamir Basha. Between Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Gilgit-Baltistan, contractors are building what is designed to be one of the world's tallest roller-compacted concrete gravity dams at about 272 m. With gross storage near 8.1 MAF, Diamir Basha is strategically tuned to trap heavy Himalayan sediments that would otherwise shorten Tarbela's life. A hypothetical breach at Diamir Basha would unleash an extreme flood into the Indus canyons with limited attenuation before reaching Tarbela's reach. Depending on Tarbela's status, CAS, catting stress could threaten downstream infrastructure,